Hello, my friend. If you're here, it means one thing: you want to speak English fluently. But somewhere deep inside, you feel stuck. You understand words, you learn grammar, you even practice. Yet when the time comes to speak, your mind freezes. You forget the words you already know. You start doubting yourself. And you think maybe English is just not for you. Let me tell you something powerful today. You are not bad at English. Your brain just doesn't believe it's your language yet. It's not about intelligence. It's not about talent. It's about psychology. Fluency is not only about vocabulary. It's about identity. If your mind still believes English belongs to someone else, you'll always speak like a guest in someone's house. But when your brain starts to believe that English belongs to you too, your voice changes. Your confidence changes. Your whole energy changes. So today, we're not just going to study English. We're going to reprogram your mind for English fluency. We'll go deep, inside your thoughts, your beliefs, your fears. We'll fix the real reason you feel stuck. And by the end, you'll feel like English is finally yours. Take a deep breath. Because this journey isn't about grammar. It's about freedom. It's about confidence. It's about changing the way your brain looks at this language forever. Now, let me ask you something simple. When you think about speaking English, what emotion do you feel first? Is it excitement? Or is it fear? Most learners secretly feel fear. Fear of mistakes. Fear of judgment. Fear of not sounding perfect. That fear is what blocks your fluency. Because fear activates your brain's survival mode, and when that happens, language shuts down. You see, your brain has two main systems. One for learning, and one for survival. When you're calm, curious, and relaxed, the learning system opens. But when you're stressed or afraid, the survival system takes over. That's why, even if you know English, you can't speak when someone's watching. It's not because you forgot. It's because your brain went into protection mode. It's protecting you from embarrassment. It's not your fault, it's human psychology. So the first step to fluency is not more grammar. It's safety. You have to make your brain feel safe in English. Safe to make mistakes. Safe to sound different. Safe to try again. Every time you speak, your brain asks, "Is it safe to do this?" If your answer is no, your voice will freeze. But if your answer becomes yes, your fluency will rise naturally. So how do we make your brain feel safe? We reprogram it, slowly, gently, with repetition and emotion. Start by changing the way you talk to yourself. Most people say things like, "I'm not good at English. I always forget words. I'll never sound fluent." These words are not just sounds. They are instructions to your brain. Your mind believes whatever you repeat most. So if you tell it, "I can't," your brain makes sure you can't. But if you tell it, "I'm improving, I'm learning, I'm growing," your brain starts to support you. You have to become your own encourager, not your own critic. Fluency grows where there is kindness, not pressure. If you punish yourself every time you make a mistake, your brain will hide from English. But if you smile at your mistakes and learn from them, your brain will trust you. That's how fluency begins, not with words, but with trust. Trust between you and your mind. Now think back to your childhood. How did you learn your first language? You didn't study grammar. You didn't memorize vocabulary lists. You listened. You repeated. You played. You made hundreds of mistakes, but no one judged you. That's why your brain learned easily. It felt safe. It felt free. Now, to master English, you have to recreate that same emotional state. Playful. Curious. Unafraid. Don't treat English like an exam. Treat it like music. Listen. Repeat. Feel the rhythm. Don't focus on perfection. Focus on flow. Because the more relaxed you are, the more naturally your brain connects words. When you say, I want to be fluent, what you really mean is, I want to speak without fear. That's what fluency truly is, the absence of fear, not the absence of mistakes. Even native speakers make mistakes all the time, but they don't care. They keep speaking. They laugh. They move on. That's why they sound fluent. Their brain is relaxed. Your goal is not to be perfect. Your goal is to be free. Now, let's talk about the psychology of identity. Every language carries an identity. When you speak your native language, you feel like yourself, confident, expressive, natural. But when you switch to English, your personality changes a little. You feel smaller, more careful. You think before every word. That's because your brain still sees English as a foreign mode. You're switching characters, like changing masks. But here's the truth, English is not a mask. It can be a part of who you are. Once you accept that, everything changes. You stop acting in English. You start living in it. You start thinking in it. And slowly, your brain merges the two identities, the you in your native tongue and the you in English, into one. You start feeling, dreaming, reacting in English naturally. That's the moment fluency becomes effortless. But to reach that point, you have to allow yourself to belong. Stop saying, their language. Start saying, our language. English is not owned by any country. It's spoken in hundreds of ways around the world. You have your accent, your culture, your story, and that gives your English power. Your accent is not a weakness. It's your signature. It tells the world where your courage comes from. So never try to erase your accent. Try to make it clear, confident, and proud. Because when your voice carries authenticity, people feel your truth. Let's talk about a small but powerful secret, subconscious exposure. The more your brain sees and hears English daily, the more it starts treating it as familiar, not foreign. Watch videos, listen to stories, read short posts, and most importantly, think in English. Even small thoughts like, I'm hungry, I'm tired, I'll call my friend. Say them in English in your mind. Because language grows in silence, inside your thoughts. Most learners only practice speaking when someone's listening. But the best practice happens when no one is watching. When you're walking, cooking, cleaning, talk to yourself in English. That's how you make English part of your daily life. That's how you tell your brain, this is my language too. There will be days when you'll feel stuck again. That's normal. Fluency is not a straight road. Some days you'll feel unstoppable. Other days, you'll forget simple words. That doesn't mean you're failing. That means your brain is reorganizing, building stronger connections beneath the surface. Just like a seed grows roots before it grows leaves. Be patient with your progress. Because patience is the fuel of fluency. Your brain is always listening. Every word you hear, every phrase you repeat, every sentence you think, builds your internal English map. Even when you're quiet, your subconscious is learning. That's why consistency is more powerful than intensity. Studying 15 minutes every day beats studying 3 hours once a week. Because your brain prefers small, regular signals. They tell it, this language matters. So stop worrying about how long it will take. Just keep sending your brain that signal every single day. English is part of me. English is my tool. English is my bridge. And slowly, it will start to believe it. Let's go deeper now. Because there's one more powerful truth about your brain. Your brain learns what it loves, not what it fears. When you enjoy English, your brain opens its doors. But when you force it, your brain shuts down. Think about the things you love, your favorite song, your favorite movie, your favorite memory. You remember them easily, right? Because emotion locks memory. That's the secret. If you want to remember English words forever, connect them with emotion. Don't just memorize, feel them. When you learn the word hope, remember a moment when you felt hope. When you learn the word fear, remember when you were afraid. Connect every new word to a picture, to a sound, to a story. Because your brain is not a book, it's a movie theater. It learns in pictures, not in lists. That's why watching emotional English videos helps so much. They make your brain feel. And what the brain feels, it never forgets. So from now on, learn English emotionally. When you watch a scene, don't just translate it, live it. When you hear a line, repeat it with the same emotion. Smile when the actor smiles. Cry when the story touches your heart. Let English flow through your feelings. Because the moment you start feeling English, it becomes part of you. Now, let's talk about another deep reason people get stuck. It's called language shame. Many learners carry invisible shame when they speak. They feel their voice is not good enough. Their accent is wrong. Their words sound broken. That shame is like a heavy stone on your tongue. You can't speak freely when you're trying to hide yourself. But I want you to understand this. Everyone's first English is broken. Even native speakers had a broken stage when they were kids. Every fluent person you admire today once sounded unsure. So stop comparing your beginning with someone else's middle. Fluency is not a competition. It's a relationship between you and the language. And just like every relationship, it takes time, patience, and love. The truth is, your English doesn't have to impress anyone. It just has to express you. When you speak honestly, even with mistakes, people feel your sincerity. They don't care about your grammar. They care about your energy, your tone, your eyes, your confidence. So instead of chasing perfection, chase connection. That's the real goal of language, to connect hearts, not to show off rules. You'll notice something magical when you stop caring about mistakes. You'll start making fewer of them. Because the tension in your brain will finally relax. And when your mind relaxes, words start flowing naturally. Remember this sentence? Confidence first. Fluency second. Because confidence creates fluency, not the other way around. You don't become confident after you speak fluently. You speak fluently because you become confident first. So start acting confident, even if it's fake at first. Stand tall. Breathe deep. Smile when you speak. Look people in the eyes. These physical actions tell your brain, I'm safe. I belong here. And when your brain feels safe, your tongue unlocks. Confidence is not a gift, it's a habit. The more you practice it, the stronger it grows. Let's talk about mindset. Most learners have a student mindset. They wait for lessons, teachers, or perfect materials. But fluent speakers have a creator mindset. They use everything around them to learn. They talk to themselves. They repeat what they hear. They turn mistakes into practice. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They create them. You don't need a classroom to become fluent. You need curiosity. Curiosity is your greatest teacher. Ask questions in English. Talk to Google in English. Search your thoughts in English. Write a diary in English. Even if no one reads it, write for yourself. Because writing helps you think clearly. And clear thoughts create clear speech. Now imagine this. Every word you say in English builds a small bridge inside your brain. At first, the bridge is shaky and thin. But every day you speak, that bridge becomes stronger. Eventually, you'll walk across it without even thinking. That's fluency, walking confidently between two languages. But if you stop practicing out of fear, that bridge starts to fade. Your brain forgets what it doesn't use. So never stop using English, even on small days. Even 5 minutes counts. You might be wondering, when will I become fluent? And here's the truth, fluency is not a moment. It's a feeling. It's when you stop thinking about English and start thinking in English. It's when words come to you automatically. It's when you no longer translate in your head. That happens slowly, silently, but surely. It's like driving a car. At first, you think about every move, the pedals, the mirrors, the road. But after some time, your body remembers. You just drive. That's what happens with English too. Practice turns thinking into instinct. So don't rush. Your brain needs repetition, not pressure. Speak slowly. Think deeply. Repeat daily. Let your fluency grow like a tree, not like a race. Now, there's one more truth I want to share. The voice in your head. We all have one. And that voice decides how fast we learn. If your inner voice says, "I can't," it kills your motivation. If it says, "I can learn," it lights a fire inside you. So change the script of your mind. Every time you catch yourself saying something negative, stop and reframe it. "I can't" becomes, "I'm learning." "I'm bad" becomes, "I'm improving." "I'm scared" becomes, "I'm growing." Because growth and fear live in the same room. You just have to choose which one you'll listen to. Remember, your brain listens to you more than it listens to anyone else. So be your own best teacher. Now I want you to imagine something powerful. Imagine you wake up tomorrow morning. You open your mouth to speak English, and it feels easy. Words flow naturally. You understand every sound. You laugh, you express, you feel free. You no longer think about mistakes. You're just speaking. That version of you already exists inside you. It's not a dream. It's your potential waiting to be activated. The only thing standing in the way is your fear. And fear disappears the moment you start walking through it. So don't wait for courage. Create it. Don't wait to feel ready. Start now, and readiness will follow. Because English fluency doesn't start when you're perfect. It starts when you're brave. Every time you speak a word in English, no matter how small, you're rewiring your brain. You're changing its structure. You're telling your neurons, "This matters." And the brain listens. It grows new pathways. That's how learning truly works, not in books, but in biology. So every time you repeat a phrase, remember, you're not wasting time. You're building a mental road. And one day, that road will take you exactly where you want to be. Be proud of every word you speak. Because every single one is proof that you didn't give up. You're not just learning English. You're learning confidence. You're learning patience. You're learning to trust yourself again. And that, my friend, is far more powerful than grammar. Let's go even deeper now. Because behind every language block, there's a hidden story. A story you might not even realize you've been telling yourself. Maybe someone once laughed at your accent. Maybe a teacher corrected you harshly. Maybe you made one mistake in public and everyone smiled. And from that day, a little voice started whispering inside you. "Don't speak, you'll embarrass yourself." That voice grew stronger over time. Every time you wanted to speak, it whispered again. And without even knowing, you started protecting yourself by staying quiet. That's not laziness. That's trauma, small, invisible, but real. And today, we're going to heal that. Take a deep breath. Forgive your old self. Forgive that moment when you went silent. It's okay. You were trying to protect yourself. But now, you don't need that protection anymore. You're safe. You're ready. You can speak again. No one is laughing. No one is judging. People are too busy thinking about their own mistakes to notice yours. So free yourself. Let your voice come back. Because silence helps no one, not even you. Your voice has power. Your words can change someone's life. And that power grows every time you dare to speak. You see, English is not just a skill. It's a doorway. It opens opportunities, connections, dreams. But to walk through that door, you need courage, not perfection. Courage to speak even when you're unsure. Courage to sound different. Courage to keep going when no one's clapping. Every great speaker you admire today began somewhere small. They stumbled. They forgot words. They doubted themselves. But they didn't stop. And that's what made them fluent. Not luck, not talent, but persistence. Persistence is stronger than fear. Because fear lasts for a moment, but persistence builds a lifetime. So promise yourself this. You will not quit after one bad day. You will not judge yourself for forgetting words. You will not hide your accent. You will not wait for permission to speak. You will speak because you deserve to. Now, I want you to remember one of the most powerful psychological facts about learning. Repetition changes identity. The more you repeat something, the more your brain starts believing it's who you are. If you repeat, "I'm shy," you become shy. If you repeat, "I can't speak," you prove it true. But if you repeat, "I'm confident," your brain starts building that reality. So let's do something together. Say this quietly in your mind right now. I'm not learning English. I'm becoming fluent. Say it again. I'm not practicing English. I'm living in it. And again. English is not their language. It's my language too. Every repetition rewires your brain. Every sentence builds a new belief. And soon, your identity will catch up with your words. Your goal is not to force fluency. Your goal is to become the kind of person who speaks fluently. And that person lives inside you already. You're just waking them up. Let's talk about one of the most important keys, environment. Your environment shapes your brain faster than you think. If you surround yourself with people who speak your native language all the time, your brain stays comfortable. But if you create even small English moments around you, your brain starts adjusting. Change your phone's language to English. Follow English pages on social media. Watch motivational videos in English. Talk to AI assistants. Talk to mirrors. Talk to yourself. Create a small world where English is normal. Because what feels normal becomes natural. And what becomes natural turns into fluency. Even if you live in a non-English speaking country, you can build your own English bubble. You can live in your language and visit English daily, until one day you realize you've moved in. The truth is, your brain doesn't care about geography. It cares about exposure. It learns from whatever it sees most. So give it English to see, hear, and feel every single day. Now let's talk about mistakes again. Not as enemies, but as friends. Each mistake is your brain learning in real time. When you say something wrong and correct it, that correction carves a new pathway in your mind. That's growth. Mistakes are evidence that you're trying. And trying is the highest form of courage. You know what's worse than making a mistake? Saying nothing at all. Because silence teaches your brain nothing. But even a wrong word teaches it something new. So from now on, when you make a mistake, smile and say, "Good, my brain just learned something." That mindset will change everything. Now let's talk about rhythm, the hidden music of English. Every language has its rhythm. When you speak your native language, your mouth, tongue, and brain move in a certain pattern. English has a different rhythm, softer, more flowing. That's why sometimes your pronunciation feels heavy or slow. It's not that you're wrong, it's that your mouth is still dancing to another rhythm. So listen to English music. Mimic the rhythm, not just the words. Speak along with your favorite actors. Copy their tone, their pauses, their energy. Don't just learn English, perform it. Because fluency is like music, it's not about notes, it's about flow. When you catch the rhythm, you catch the feeling. And when you catch the feeling, your words come alive. Now think of your brain like a garden. Every word you learn is a seed. Some seeds grow fast. Some take time. But as long as you keep planting, your garden will bloom. Even if today feels empty, trust the process. Your roots are growing underground. The day will come when your English blooms, naturally, beautifully, confidently. And when that day comes, you'll realize something profound. You never became fluent overnight. You became fluent quietly, through thousands of small moments. Every word you whispered to yourself. Every sentence you repeated. Every mistake you smiled through. Those were the steps that built your fluency. Fluency is not an event. It's 1,000 small victories that no one sees but you. So celebrate them. Celebrate the first time you understood a full English movie. Celebrate the first time you spoke without translating. Celebrate the first time you made someone smile in English. Those moments matter. They're proof that your effort is working. Your journey is not slow, it's sacred. You're not just learning a language. You're rebuilding your confidence, step by step. So keep going. Even when you don't feel progress, keep going. Because sometimes the biggest changes happen silently, inside you. You might not see the growth today, but your brain is recording everything. It remembers every attempt, every repetition, every sound. One day, when you least expect it, you'll speak a perfect sentence, and you'll surprise yourself. You'll pause and smile and think, "Did that just come from me?" Yes, it did. Because you earned it. You built it word by word, day by day. And from that day on, English won't feel like a subject anymore. It will feel like a part of your soul. Let's finish this journey together. Because now, it's not just about learning English. It's about transforming how you see yourself. You've been told that fluency is about memorizing words, studying grammar, passing tests. But that's not the full truth. Fluency is a state of mind. It's the moment your brain stops fighting English and starts flowing with it. It's when you stop asking, "Am I good enough?" and start saying, "This is who I am now." Every language we learn rewires our brain. It expands our world, it changes our emotions, it gives us a new identity. You're not just learning to speak English. You're building a second version of yourself, confident, global, expressive. And that version is growing stronger every day you practice. But there's something important you need to understand. Comparison kills confidence. If you keep comparing your English to others, your growth will slow down. Because comparison activates shame. And shame blocks learning. Instead, compare yourself only to who you were yesterday. Did you speak one new word today? Did you understand one new phrase? Then you're winning. Celebrate those steps. Because that's how real transformation happens. One small victory at a time. The people who give up never fail because they can't learn. They fail because they stop believing they can. But you're still here, still trying, still dreaming. And that means you're already ahead. Now let's talk about the psychology of confidence again, because this is where everything changes. Confidence is not something you wait for. It's something you practice. Every time you open your mouth, you are training your brain to be brave. Even if your voice shakes, speak anyway. Because every shaky sentence makes your next one stronger. Courage is built through action, not thoughts. Think about how you learned to walk as a baby. You fell 100 times, maybe 1,000. But no one told you to stop. You kept getting up. And one day, you walked. You didn't say, "I'm bad at walking." You didn't wait to feel ready. You just kept trying. That same spirit is inside you right now. That same persistence will carry you to fluency. When your brain feels fear before speaking, smile and whisper to yourself, "I'm safe." Because you are. No one's chasing you. No one's grading you. You're just expressing yourself. Your brain needs to hear that reassurance again and again. And with time, fear loses its power. Fluency lives on the other side of fear. Cross that line again and again until it disappears completely. And remember this, English is not just a set of words. It's a way of thinking. When you start thinking in English, your mind starts rewiring. You stop translating. You start feeling the meaning. That's when fluency begins to bloom. So talk to yourself in English every day. Describe what you see. Narrate your actions. I'm walking. I'm opening the window. I'm making tea. It might sound simple, but this is how the brain starts building direct connections. Soon, English won't be a translation anymore. It will be your natural response. And here's something beautiful. Once your brain accepts English as part of you, it also accepts the emotions that come with it. You'll start thinking new thoughts. You'll express feelings that maybe you never said before. Because every language unlocks a new side of your soul. Let it happen. Let English show you who else you can be. The confident you. The expressive you. The brave you. You might think, but my English is still not good. Let me tell you this. Fluency doesn't start when your English is perfect. It starts when your belief is strong. Because when belief comes first, improvement follows automatically. You've spent so long believing English is hard. But what if it isn't? What if your brain has been ready all along? It just needed permission to believe. Today, give it that permission. Tell yourself, I'm allowed to be fluent. Say it again, softly but clearly. I'm allowed to be fluent. Feel that truth. Let it sink in. Because the biggest walls that stop you are not outside, they're inside your mind. Once they fall, fluency rushes in like light through an open window. You'll start noticing it slowly. You'll understand videos you once skipped. You'll reply faster in conversations. You'll start enjoying English instead of fearing it. That's how the transformation begins, quietly, beautifully, naturally. And the best part? You don't have to be perfect to inspire others. Your journey, your effort, your persistence, that's what inspires. There are millions of people out there who want to learn, but they're scared. When they see you speaking bravely, even with mistakes, you give them courage. You become proof that it's possible. That's the real beauty of learning. It's contagious. Now let's talk about your daily habits, because psychology is built on repetition. Your brain doesn't change through one big effort. It changes through small, consistent actions. So every day, give yourself small doses of English. Listen for 10 minutes. Speak for 5. Read something short. Think something simple. That's all. Because consistency builds comfort. And comfort builds fluency. If one day you don't feel motivated, remember why you started. You didn't start just to learn a language. You started to change your life. To unlock opportunities. To express your ideas. To connect with people around the world. That dream is bigger than your fear. Hold on to it. On hard days, don't say, I'm failing. Say, I'm building. Because progress is invisible until one day, it isn't. You'll wake up and realize you no longer hesitate to speak. You'll realize your tongue is caught up with your thoughts. You'll realize you're fluent, not because of luck, but because you never gave up. And when that moment comes, look back and smile. Because you'll see how every struggle, every doubt, every small practice led you here. You'll see how your patience became power. And you'll feel something new, pride. Not the loud kind. The quiet kind that lives in your heart. The pride of someone who built fluency word by word, day by day. But even then, don't stop learning. Because language is a living thing. The more you feed it, the more it grows. Fluency is not a destination. It's a lifelong friendship. You keep talking, listening, exploring, and it keeps rewarding you with new beauty every day. Speak to learn, listen to feel, and read to grow. Let English become your daily rhythm, your comfort zone, your second home. Because once your brain fully accepts English, it will open doors you can't even imagine today. And remember, your accent is not your enemy. Your accent is your story. It carries your history, your strength, your roots. Don't hide it. Wear it proudly. The goal is not to sound like someone else. The goal is to sound like you, in English. When you speak with honesty, people listen. They don't care if your grammar is perfect. They care if your energy is real. So always speak from the heart. Because a true voice in imperfect English is more powerful than perfect words with no soul. So from this moment, speak freely. Think freely. Believe freely. English is no longer a wall. It's your window to the world. And through that window, the world is waiting to hear you. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine yourself 1 year from now. You're speaking confidently. You're meeting new people. You're reading books without translation. You're watching movies and understanding every line. You're writing messages that inspire others. And you're proud, not because you're fluent, but because you believed in yourself when it was hardest to. That's who you're becoming. And it all begins now. So repeat after me, one last time, slowly with belief. I'm not bad at English. My brain is learning every day. I'm not afraid of mistakes. They are part of my growth. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be brave. English is not foreign. It belongs to me too. Let these words sink into your heart. Because this is not just a video, it's a new beginning. The psychology of English fluency is simple. The moment you believe English is yours, your brain starts acting like it is. So believe it, live it, and speak it, every day, everywhere, in every small moment. Because one day, you'll realize, you didn't just learn English. You became it. And when that day comes, you'll smile and whisper to yourself, I did it! I didn't wait to be perfect. I just believed. And that belief changed everything.